Webwatching, and today we are going to talk about niche marketing. Big thanks to Hover.com who's sponsoring this episode. More on Hover.com later though. Right now, Shama Kabani is here. I'm so excited that you are here today.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, well, you know everything about social media, marketing. This lady is traveling the world to speak about social media. She has her own company. She has her own book. Look, it's right over here. And it's been there. Look at past episodes. So I'm really excited to talk to you about niche marketing.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. I don't know about everything, but we'll try. We'll try to see what we can cover.
So what, can you explain in a couple of sentences what niche marketing is? There's two different types, right?
Right. So let's just look at the word niche, right? That means a very small segment or really honing in on something. So one definition of niche marketing is really, if you look at audience, honing down on an audience. So everyone's my customer to only moms with, boys who are between the ages of, 5 months and 6 years old. That's my niche. The other side of niche marketing is your platform. I'm going to market using every tool in the world versus no, I'm really going to hone in on this one forum that, for example, mommy bloggers really visit. That's going to be my niche. So there's a niche in audience and then there's a niche on platform.
So how, if you have a brand or if you have a business, how would you use niche marketing to promote your product or service or whatever it is?
Right, so your first step in any type of niche marketing is to really hone in on your target audience. And the better you understand your target audience, the better any marketing is going to be. And by that I mean so many people start with a very generic, who are my customers? Oh, business owners. Yeah, well, there's a lot of types of business owners. There's lots of types of businesses. So that's where you start. You really try to figure out what is my niche and what makes, also part of that is what makes you different. What is your big differentiator?
Sure.
So one book that I love and I recommend everybody read it is Blue Ocean Strategy. It was written by a couple of professors. It's an old book, been out there for a while, but the concept is essentially you're swimming in a Red Sea. There's a lot of sharks, so you need to find fresh waters to swim in, blue waters, where there are no sharks, where are there no... So you really create your own niche in that way. You serve an audience that is not being served.
So how do you find your own water?
You get creative, and for example, this is actually in the book that I think is really interesting. So in Japan, from what I understand, and there could be people who think I'm totally wrong about this, from what I've read, people in Japan, the art of getting your hair cut for men is a process. So you go get pampered. It's like an hour-long ordeal. I don't know if it's called an ordeal, but
for men.
For men. So my husband thinks that's the greatest thing. But generally they have hot towels. It's a process. And here, of course, you have to go in and the $9 or $14 haircut and you leave. So someone took that concept from there and said, well, why don't we take the American concept of a quick haircut and offer it to the Japanese audience? And it really took off. So that's really a blue ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, because the current market was very saturated, but to bring this concept of, would you like a quick haircut in a world that's more and more Western every day in terms of how fast our lives are? They worked really well. So that's an example of a blue ocean strategy. You're sort of creating your own niche.
Trying to find something new that works for you and something that's close to your heart, I guess. Something a little bit more personal.
Cross-pollination. So I'm a big fan of learning about other industries because if you read only about your industry, you only stick to that, then you don't really learn. When you look at what's happening in biology or in industrial sciences or even in literature, the things that you can learn from those different industries to pull into what you're doing, I think that's where you really have some cool, innovative ideas.
Great. All right. So we're talking a lot about personal brands and personalizing things. So let's talk a little bit about Hover.com, today's sponsor. These guys pretty much personalize anything you have online, whether you want a custom domain name or a custom email address or custom URL, they can do that. Now, I know that there are a lot of other websites that do the exact same thing, except that Hover.com is completely clean. There's no clutter, there's no screaming ads. We've all been to the websites that are completely confusing. Well, Hover is like a breath of fresh air. So if you register a domain name or an email address, I actually have a promo code.
Okay.
Frank. So when you register anything on Hover.com. You actually support Webwatching, which is the show you're watching right now, and you get a 10% discount. So just use promo code Frank.
And I've actually checked out Hover's website. I thought it was really clean. I mean, it was really nice. You see some of these other ones, and they are cluttered, and it's hard to get through, and there's like a gazillion steps to just get like a personalized domain name or an email address, and they made it really simple. So I'm all for Hover.
I've heard of a couple of websites, I guess, that can help you with niche marketing, such as Pinterest and Instagram.
Right. So Instagram is an app mostly for iPhones where you share pictures, and Pinterest is sort of my latest addiction right now. And I
really
proceed with caution. If you go to Pinterest.com, it is addicting. But really, what it is a visual board of sorts for the web. So you have your own, and it's hard to explain in words, but I shall try. Let's say you're online and you like a dress and you share it and really you pin it to your pin board. And I know that Palpina has great style and I copy everything she wears and I think it's great. So of course I'm going to follow you on Pinterest, for example, similar to Twitter. But I'm not getting updates, I'm getting images. So it's the web in a very visual way. But from like a business perspective, niche marketing, let's say you have a clothing boutique or you do things that are visually appealing. Well, Pinterest is your new best niche friend. And if you see this a lot with bloggers who cook, they've been using Pinterest a lot because you'll see cookies and then recipes. I'm starving right now, so it's like food. It sounds so good. I'm always starving though. So you can see all that, the pictures, and you click through and you get the recipes. So bloggers, or some of them, are getting their greatest traffic ever through Pinterest.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So what do you think are some of the trends or things that we might see this year when it comes to online marketing? Do you have any predictions?
My greatest prediction, it's already coming through, is really integration. So right now we've had the social web, social media, and we have SEO. I mean, all these things are so different, and social media is generally not part of the business. It's like social media marketing is this thing that you do on the side. Well, in 2012 and beyond, we see that integrating. It's not just social media, it's social business. Just like we don't say, I'm going to get on my personal computer anymore. There's these terms that seem so outdated. I think social media is going to be one of those terms that becomes outdated over time because it's so incorporated. Businesses by their very nature will have to be social.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. All right, I think we're running out of time, but thank you so much for being here.
Great to be here
today. Where can people find you online?
They can find me at shama.tv and marketingzen.com.
All right, and don't forget to use our discount code for hover.com, which is Frank. You'll get a 10% discount. And if you want to go to the show notes, want to find all the websites that we talked about today, go to frankwatching.com/WW6. Thanks for watching. Doei. Hover lover.
Yeah, not going that far, but okay.
You said it.
A new breed of fans. I could keep going on this. We take personalization to a whole different level.